Any job, big or small, do it right or not at all. I'm a boss, you a call. I just sit and make decisions, you are not involved.
Do a test run real quick. Payne? Alright, what's good? What's happening?
It's the one and only from Broward County. You know what I'm saying? Broward to the O, 954 to the 407. Checking in. Seasoned, I would say at this point, veteran in my craft.
Facts.
Community builder.
Facts.
Somebody that every action I take is putting on for the people around me.
Facts.
And anybody that plans to walk in these steps that I'm headed. There's no reason I don't leave groundwork. But yeah, all around just a regular person, bro. Everybody's eye to eye with me. I don't see anybody as beneath or above. I just see us all coming together and being one if we operate that way. So yeah, that's how we trying to do it. You know what I mean? So this is the podcast. This is for episode 1 of a podcast that has no name currently. Currently sitting on the Do It Right podcast. Word to the single that's not out yet. But yeah, because the whole idea is we want to do it right. You know what I mean? There's plenty ways to do the things that you have to do in this earth, but how you choose to do it is really that's gonna be the thing that like creates the character that you are. You feel me?
Facts.
And what character you want to maintain. And I know what character I want to maintain, bro. So as I step into that with all intention, I just want to inspire the people around me to do the same, because we all got gifts. So as long as we can move forward and do that shit right, we all good. So welcome to episode 1. You know what I'm saying? We at Neon Camel Recording Studios.
Go, round of applause.
You know what I'm saying? A hell of a spot here in the center of Orlando, Florida. The city beautiful.
Appreciate
the
you.
middle of the state. You know what I mean? We got Abdul on the vocal side of everything. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, but fully part of it. We got Eric on cam. We building a team, man. That's the whole idea. Anything anybody can offer to the mix, to the gumbo, to the potluck that we having right now, just offer that shit.
It is a potluck.
It is a potluck, because at the end of the day, so look, this is the basis of my potluck parable. Let's say my potluck parable.
Let's hear that parable.
So, group of friends, group of family, whatever group you want to say. Let's just say a group of friends in college. Y'all decide, we about to do a Friendsgiving. It's November. You know what I'm saying? Let's stick to that. It's November. You about to do a Friendsgiving with your crew of 10 to 15 friends, right?
Yep.
Everybody's like, I make this. Somebody's real good with the mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying? They got grandma recipe. Somebody got the sweet potato pie. Nobody's doing that. They got to ask their grandma. Word to your grandma. That's the best sweet potato pie you ever have. Grandmas. Aunties.
Not all sweet potato pies are equal, though.
Exactly. It got to be made by a grandma.
Exactly. Grandma and above. Great grandma. She's
that's
still
how
alive.
it got to go. So everybody got something that they bring into the potluck, but there's always that one or two friends that just don't have a thing. Like, shit, they might not cook, but they might bring the silverware, right? Or they might bring the Sprite or the fruit punch. They might bring the playlist. They might be the one controlling the music, the whole vibe, right?
How about that?
Who's gonna tell that person they can't get a plate?
They might bring the good energy too. The right energy.
That's the idea of the potluck parable. Exactly. The idea is nobody's gonna stop you from eating with the crew because you don't bring a dish.
Yep.
What if your dish is the vibe? That should be okay too, right?
Facts.
Everybody got something to offer. It's all about helping you discover what it is that you can offer. Mm-hmm. So you got to build a sense of independence, yes. But that's not the end goal. You build an independence so that you can then be dependable to other people.
Facts.
You feel me? It's always going to be a give and take. So that's how we looking at it. Anybody that got a skill or a talent that can build towards the goals that we're looking towards, link up. Because there's no reason not to. Everybody got something they can offer. And why not make it move faster with all this great energy that we got all in around each other?
I showed up to a couple with nothing. I'll be honest. Maybe once or twice. Like when I used to live in LA, I went to a bunch of. It was like a little Arab get together, like a lot of people from the Middle East.
Yeah.
And everybody bringing their own flavor from the Middle East, North Africa, Middle East. Like, okay, what do you know how to do?
Right.
I went there. I was like, man, I got some nice food, man. I can't compete with this shit.
But that's the thing. Imagine one of your Arab brothers being like, "Nah, you can't have none of this because you
Oh
didn't bring this."
no,
Like, imagine that.
I ain't gonna
Who
claim
would
them.
actually
I ain't
do
gonna
that?
claim them.
That shit heartless. That's not
Yeah.
human.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like the whole idea is like, bro, who's gonna reject you as long as you bring in you? Because
Yeah.
that's the most creative you can be is just being yourself. Because there ain't another you. While we all share something, you know what I mean? There is a through line of all human beingness. You feel me? We all need food. We all need shelter. We all need good vibes and community. But we all got our own ways of approaching that. And that's the beauty of it. Because guess what? I don't need to have your perspective because you got your perspective. But as long as I talk to you and get your perspective, now we share perspectives. Imagine that shit happening on a global scale, bro. With the 80+% of people that actually just the 80% of people that actually are just regular humans trying to get by in this world. There's some 10% that are like super rich and living a totally different lifestyle. There's a 5% that's above them. And there's a 1% above all of us, right? Yeah. But there's like at least 80 to 90%, 85%, I'd say, that are just regular people, bro, that need the essentials.
I need to interject here and just touch on something that I experienced here when I first came to Florida. About 3 years ago when I first came down here, it was around the same time of year. And I had an experience where a group of friends of mine had offered me an invite to a Friendsgiving event. And it just so happened that the people that ended up to be hosting the event were rather wealthy. They were somewhere in Winter Park, somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where they were or whatever else. And for their anonymity, I'm not going to get any deeper into that. But they were just amazing people, so welcoming and everything. And just like you're touching on, I was a little afraid to like not necessarily be myself, but open up too much just because of the situation I had just come from. I wasn't used to being in places like that, around people like that. And the love that I was experiencing in that moment was just it was unnatural to me. Not necessarily unnatural. I guess that's the bad word.
Just wasn't used to it.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was new to me. It was brand new to me. But it was a wonderful experience. And Friendsgiving, man, like I will never forget that event. I will never forget that event. And I just had to say that because I just wanted to make it clear that just because you're wealthy doesn't make you a bad person.
Right.
It just so happens to be that some of the most powerful people looking out for their best interest and their loved one's best interest just so happen to put down others, that are lower than them, that are trying to get to a level that they might be at, or just trying to get by on a day-to-day happy with their little piece of pie that they have.
And I mean, and that's true, because I never put it on the individual. I would say it's inevitable with the system. That once you reach a certain financial threshold, you do lose a bit of humanity. Only because, like, I think $1 million is a happy medium that I think people can just work hard and reach that and still maintain their integrity. But when you start getting to the hundreds of millions and then the billions and shit like that, even if it's not you assessed at that value, but the company you own assessed at that value, I think at that point there are nefarious energies that will be attracted and ultimately push you towards a choice of maintain your integrity and stay at that level that you're at. You won't be able to grow, or you lose everything, or join us and we'll make you grow exponentially. And I think that's a choice that anybody has to make too. That's why I never really cared about taking the music industry, my role in the music industry, to like Drake heights and stuff like that. Do I think I have the capability? Hell yeah. Do I think I got the skill? Hell yeah. But do I want that lifestyle? Do I want that choice? Not really. Like the success that I found, which everybody can decide their own success. That's the other side. It's like, don't let somebody else tell you what success is. You're a musician. They saying you got to have a hit single across the world to be successful. No, how about you got a single at your high school that people like? How about you got a music video that your 1,000 closest friends actually just watched, and that's it. Like, that is success.
That's making it.
That's success, and all that shit can be built upon. But people are still reaching for these like unnatural levels of success, and I don't think they realize that there is a trade in that.
It's kind of wild, the topic that we're on now, and just timing wise. I can't recall if it was on the drive here to the studio today, or if it was out when I was running Uber Eats waiting for you to hit me back earlier this afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
I had the thought, like, man, making it isn't necessarily because everybody knows your name.
Exactly.
That's actually probably super uncomfortable. And
I got a story about that when you done straight up.
I already know. But I guess it was thinking about you in the moment and thinking about, like, some of the things that I had originally came to Florida to do with, like, my drone videos and things like that. And I was thinking, like, I was also listening to Candace Owens' podcast, and hearing her theme song come on at the beginning is what triggered the thought. And it was like, that's not a popular song, but it's popular because she's made it popular. Who recorded that score, that 10-second score?
Yo,
Who
it sound like
recorded that?
I think it's Kanye.
I was gonna say she's friends with Kanye.
Yeah, it has that. It has that.
Like something Kanye would do.
And you know it through that one key it hits at the end where it's like, dong. That
Dead
is like that's some
giveaway.
Kanye shit.
Dead giveaway.
I'm pretty sure he mixed that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to take it to that direction. What I was
Just a
trying to
side
say
note.
Right?
We segueing.
right? Pay
Facts.
attention to that. I'm sure there'll be more later. But no, what I was saying on that note is just like it was a local. It was like my homie Brandon. He's a musician. His music is fire. Why not showcase his music in my song? I don't need to license a song from some big name artist. I'm probably gonna get my YouTube video struck down because of that. Yeah. So it's like, at the end of the day, making it isn't because you have the whole world knowing your name. Making it is just being successful in your circle, for your peers around you and your loved ones to see what you're doing and support that. You know what I mean? If you're able to make the slightest bit of living off of it, pay one bill off of it. If you made $1 off of it, you're a professional.
How is what you're doing helping others? That to me is a great gauge of success.
Right?
Because it don't even have to be financial. That homeless dude on the side of the street that stop you every time you stop at that corner and just offer you some wisdom of the day, you can ignore it. Most people will. But I'm telling you, bro, every time I've actually stopped in, there was one that used to be at the exit off of the 408 at I think it was Hiawassee.
Okay.
And every time I would get off at that exit, he's sitting under a tree at that corner. He's asked me for some water sometimes, and I just had some in the trunk when he grabbed it or whatever. If I had a couple dollars, I gave him a couple dollars. But he always said some real shit that most people would just, fuck is this crazy man talking about?
You know what's crazy? I don't know if my dad was crazy, but when he said this, but he told me one day, I'll try to translate it from Arabic to English.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll hear wisdom from the mouths of the crazies. And I'll say, like, some, you know, there's a thin line between genius and, my experience, genius and insanity.
Right.
Some people are still living, treading that line their whole life. They will say something that's like, oh, wow, that clicked with me. You know what? They're right about this. I shouldn't be thinking about my daily struggles this way if I look at it from a different point of view. Okay, this is how it's going to soften, you know, the impact of your personal problems. So sometimes, yeah, you hear a lot of wisdom from people you don't think.
Bro, and think about something that you don't even hear. Imagine just seeing a homeless person smiling. Think about what that says without even hearing words audibly.
It's
like
simple.
you're
It's simple.
smiling
Yep.
when you have what society would say is nothing.
And problems. Who knows? A lot of them, you know.
So this conversation,
man.
this conversation is leaded to towards the debate, or not the debate, but the difference between perception and perception
and reality.
Perception and perspective.
Yes, exactly. Say it again for me.
Perception and perspective.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have one and not the other. You know what I mean? They have their perspective. They know what they see. They don't see past their own nose type of stuff. You know what I mean? They got their stresses, their bills, their life. You know what I mean? Their loved ones or whatever else that they've got to focus on and worry about, but they're not able to see life through somebody else's perspective. Through something, you know what I mean? They're not able to see. I'm not good with the vocabulary, so I'm gonna have to have you say it for me. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people have a hard time seeing it from that homeless man's perception or perspective. Shit. You know what I mean? To understand what. Yes.
The outlook.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way I see this headphone, somebody says, "No, this is not a headphone. This is
a microwave."
A microwave. You know, what do you mean it's a headphone? It's not. It's not. It's really a microwave that they repurposed into head. Some
Dig
people
it.
they just have to look at things. Their perception is always guided by either negativity or
Their experience.
From my experience, I see a lot of people like, hey, when I gave you that advice, I didn't mean to. Can we curse it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to
yeah.
shit on you. I was like, I'm giving you tough love, but I did not mean it the way you're looking at it. You know?
Right.
Some people are like, why you what's the word, chastising me? Like,
Chastising.
chastising. Why you patronizing me? Why you like? No, I'm telling you, this is what you should have done.
Right.
You know, in your life, this is what you should be doing. Why you keep? They take every advice as a lecture, in a negative way, but it's advice. Anybody else was like, yeah, that person.
Yo, people have a
Somebody
really
else's view.
people have a really bad, especially today, have a really bad relationship with truth. Like truth, like the whole idea of like truth hurts. That's real shit, right? But we still have to learn how to manage our emotions, right? So just because it hurt, don't mean that you gotta ignore it, because it's still information. That's how I've, in the last 5 years, I've taken a stance where anything that I perceive or anything that I experience is simply information. What I do with that information is on me. But it's just ones and zeros, bro. Shout out to my boy Dakar. We are. This shit is all ones and zeros. So how do I plug those ones and zeros into something that can be useful to me? That's how you got to look at it. Even a hard time can be useful because it teaches you how to save. It teaches you how to be frugal. Shit like that. It's like, why can't I use any experience for good? Most people go through bad experiences and don't know how to perceive it in any other way other than the negative. So they don't make anything out of it. When struggle creates, what is it? Pressure creates diamonds?
Diamonds, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some real shit. So, to bring it back to what Eric was saying, he was saying about success not being everybody knows you, right? So, I had that experience. UCF, 2009. At that time, the second largest school in the nation by numbers. Is number one now. Arizona State had it at the time.
Damn.
And it's this huge mixture of people from everywhere, right? And everybody knows B-Payne. If y'all don't know, I'm Payne now, but it was B-Payne, my actual name. I was B-Payne before J. Cole was J. Cole. Word to that. But the idea is like, I had all these people that knew me, right? And I'm putting up the quotes. But I felt lonely. I felt like nobody actually knew me. I felt like people knew the image or the perception of me, but nobody actually knew me.
Elaborate on that. Why did you feel lonely? What was the thing that made you like, okay, everybody knows me, but I still feel lonely? What was happening there? As an artist, what do you think?
And shit, okay. I had just suffered the worst trauma of my life to date still, right?
Okay.
Lost my mom at 16.
Oh yeah.
I started school at 18 at UCF, right? And this is the thing. What's crazy about it is what I'm saying other people didn't know about me, I probably didn't even know about myself either at the time. This is like, so this is hindsight.
Retrospect. Yep.
This is, retrospective thinking. Man. You feel me? So I might not even realize what was wrong with me, but just knowing that there was things that I was feeling about, I'm 2 years into losing the person that raised me. I don't even know. I'm still learning new things that are affecting me about that.
Yeah.
17, 18 years later. So at the time, I'm like, everybody knows me as just like nice, happy, because I still kept a good attitude as much as I could, right? But I still hurt. There's shit that hurts.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have anybody here that cares about me. Specifically the level of a mother.
Yeah.
My mom, I would never been hungry in college if my mom was alive. Let's be real.
Yep.
There's no way my mom is going to let me be hungry. You feel me? Shit like that. So it was just this, everybody knew of me, and there was a certain level of popularity and local fame and shit that came with that.
Yeah.
But that shit made me hella uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. In the sense of like how people are shooting to be like famous, world famous stars and stuff like that. It's like, I don't think you recognize how like unfreeing, how caging that is. Because now you can't be yourself because everybody expects something of you. Let alone don't become famous when you're young, because everybody's gonna remember you as that young face, and they only want to see that young face.
You think that has something to do with maybe an addiction? It almost sounds like when we were talking about money earlier, just a few minutes ago, that gave me a thought. Like, at what point are you satisfied with whatever level of success you've had? At what point are you satisfied? And it's like, to me, I guess if we were talking about monetarily, I guess the average goal for the average human or the average American is to have enough money financially to be okay with their day-to-day, to live their day-to-day lives without changing or sacrificing anything, being able to pay their bills, food on the table and all that without a thought or a care in the world.
Right.
So I guess if I had to put like a dollar amount on it, so you know what I mean, investments and all total, $2 million to me sounds like a feasible number that one should be able to sit back and have interest enough rolling in to where they can live a decent life with the assets that they have, you know what I mean? And still be able to do luxurious things like travel or whatever else.
So you saying the addiction being like that, wanting more and more and more and more.
Yeah, just at
I
what
agree.
point, like, why does somebody need 100 billion? Like, excuse my language, but what in the hell does Elon Musk need to have $1 trillion next to his name for?
Right.
Like, honest to God, what does that mean to be a trillionaire?
I think I deciphered it. So I've been around a lot of millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires. So they're different types of
It's a different
billionaires.
breed.
Different breed. However, some are like, okay, I built this empire. I gotta have these billions, so this empire that's feeding all these hundreds of thousands of millions of families don't fail. These are like, you call them the benevolent, like what's benevolent?
I think that sounds about right. Benevolent
Benevolent
bunch.
billionaire. There's a bunch of nefarious ones. They're like, you know what? How do I make more? I want to die with not a B, a T next to my name, a trilly. You know what I mean? So, but it's
That's
out
even-
of greed.
But that's even that race to $1 billion though. That's the thing. Is like to be a successful business person, there are some people that are getting fucked over off
A
rip.
lot. A lot.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed. Like,
It's
and more and more so
it's
every day.
integral in that system that has to happen. Like, how do you get more without stepping on people's necks
Yeah. I mean,
if it's not shared?
I had without naming names, I had a billionaire sitting right where you were sitting
Huh.
right there, and he did his podcast for 2 days. He's the type of leader that leads by example.
Okay.
He's more of he'd rather lead by, there are two types of leaderships. I studied at college. There's Robert Greene, which is
Yeah.
like by any means. And there's the other guy, I forgot his name. Let me look him up. But the other
Look it
guy's
up.
more
Yeah,
like
we
lead
got a
by
second.
what?
You got a second? Look him
Yeah.
up.
Leadership is something that's either inherited or I don't know, maybe like as an artist. Hold on, leadership books. What am I doing, man? Leadership books. There's Robert Greene, and then there's the Maxwell.
John
Laws
Maxwell.
of Leadership. Yeah, John Maxwell. He has a totally opposite way of leading, of leading your life into becoming a leader, and how to lead corporations and people and nations, not by fear or by any means, and just finessing people like Robert Greene. Robert Greene's like, he'll take stories, but it is effective though.
Right.
His way is very effective. I'm more of a some leaders. So that person, going back to him, he's more of like, he'll take a little bit of Green when it's situational, and some situations may be more lean into Maxwell's way of leadership.
Right.
But he's more of a Maxwell leader, and he feels like, yeah, people want to feel valued at your corporation. They want to feel like, okay, they belong. How do you keep that feeling? How do you, And over there, some people are like, no, people will fear me. They fear reprisal. They fear the checks getting cut.
Right.
All that stuff. So hold on, I have ADHD, so we kind of like
Right.
separated. Yeah, I ADD on you. Let's go back to leadership. Okay, back to you as an artist, and when you were feeling there's something, you were famous locally, and then
Just the discomfort of it all.
the discomfort of
like-
the fame, or what was the discomfort?
of the amount of eyes on you that don't necessarily know you.
Okay.
Like the people that's close to me, I could say something like the Civil Rights Act might have messed up black people in America. The
Okay.
people that know me would understand that there's a deeper reason why I'm saying that. But the major public will probably say I'm like blaspheming being black in
Yeah.
America. That's what I mean is like the people that are close to you will give you the grace to at least try to understand, or will already have the background knowledge of you to understand that you came to that conclusion for a reason.
Okay.
Ooh.
But when you're famous, you don't have that luxury because you got a million eyes on you that have a million different perspectives, and they're all gonna judge you. And then what's crazy is let the right media structure or channel or whatever it is claim you to be something. Now those people that didn't know you in the first place, now they have something to attach to and say we all agree with that, even if they don't really even have a perspective on it.
It's because they have. It sounds like it's because they have a more intimate relationship with you as an artist and as a person. It sounds like what you're saying is that because of that relationship and that dynamic, that you're able to, your message is able to travel further and harder. It hits harder because you're actually able
It's
to get your clear
substantiated.
message through in that moment because. Like the intimate relationship that you're able to have with them. When your fan base is in the multi-millions, you're not able to really establish that bond with anybody.
It's like
you're never able to
it's like a college
establish
class
that
where it's
bond.
400 people in the room. Do you really get the time with that teacher?
Yeah.
Do you really get the personal time you need for tutoring? Not really.
So it's like, it sounds like you're saying like your message hits harder. This, like, as long as I guess there's a certain level like of fame. You know what I mean?
There's a threshold that I don't want to cross, and it's very possible that it happens on its own. But I would like if the way I've lived up to that point has created a massive understanding already of who I am, so that even if the newfound fan base misunderstands me, there is a part of that fan base that corrects them before I have to.
Okay.
Because I just want to be an artist.
I see that a lot with a couple of artists. You know, like some are diehard Young Thug fans.
Right.
They're like, yeah, he on some fuck shit. He been doing some crazy shit. But there's a reason, because that's his kind of style, is like shock value.
Right.
You know,
Like
shock
that cover art
value
for his
just
new
happens.
album.
What?
Like the cover art for his new album.
Cover art.
It's crazy.
The songs.
The song.
Let me see this.
You want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see the cover art now.
All right,
Talk about
we
it.
talking about the Young Thug album. I can't pronounce the name of it. It was like Ooey Scooty or something like that. I'm not sure.
Hold on.
And I used to like Young Thug. I ain't even gonna act like Young Thug is a creative artist. He brought a lot of different energies to the game in terms of like
How do you
tones and stuff
pronounce
like
it?
that. Yeah, I don't know. How to, I
Scooty?
think and I looked it up. It means something too.
It might. I don't. I'm
Oh,
trying to,
it's a
decipher
star.
it.
It's a star.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an actual star
An
in
actual
space.
okay.
Yeah.
Something in the cosmos. Something out there.
Yeah, but this cover art is like, it's definitely shock value.
Whiteface. I don't know. He photoshopped himself. In
Then he got the song where he just saying it. He's saying the N word with the hard
with
ER.
the hard R's, calling his ops. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, and you know, I mean, that's
Wow.
been talked about a lot on like the social mediums, but it speaks to that larger thing of like, I don't want that for me.
But it goes
Like-
back to, sorry to cut you off, but it goes back to the message and how you say things that might it will
Get
resonate.
misconstrued.
Yeah, with other people. Like, okay, now what is he saying? But die-hard Payne fans are gonna be like, no, this is what he means, because that's his style of messaging. And you know what I'm saying? So that's how I had a lot of, what do you call them, stands, Young Thug stands. They would tell me, no, this is Thug's way. So that's more.
This
like,
is what
okay.
he means by this, because we put in
Yeah.
the time and the effort to understand.
And he's
him.
always on that like shock value type of.
Right.
But interesting. I have a question. Like,
What up?
when it comes to your artistry, it was born around that time in UCF, or you've always been.
Oh nah, it started, bro. I wrote my first rap in first grade, 6 years old.
Okay.
Wrote it with my
It was
sister,
there.
my older stepsister. I mean, she mostly ghost wrote that, to be honest.
Okay.
But like, it was like my first experience, because I was like writing like short stories and stuff. I wrote a story about a turkey getting lost in the country of Turkey on Thanksgiving, shit like that, in like
That's
kindergarten
yo.
or something, right? But we wrote that in first grade, and then by middle school, I was using that same rap that we wrote then as like my freestyle rap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Somebody beat on the table, I'm gonna spit this shit. That was
Okay.
like in middle school, but then high school, I actually started like recording. 9th grade, sneaking out of class to do it because we
You
had
knew
a,
you had to like solidify this into recordings. You knew from some like around maybe 15, 16 that you were going to be
I would say 14.
professional recording artist, rapper.
Yeah, I would say I was at least looking at myself in the sense of like, dang, I really enjoy this. Like
Okay.
I'm not gonna not do it. You know.
Okay.
I actually started putting real time to it.
Was a
My
passion.
high school was a TV production magnet, right? So we had a TV show. Everybody got morning announcements usually over the intercom.
Yeah.
Like in high school, last 5-10 minutes of school or first period, everybody listen.
Yeah.
Ours was a TV show, like fully produced by our class.
Oh.
So like it was like a 4-camera setup. We had 2 anchors. We had somebody running the teleprompter. We had script writers that wrote the scripts beforehand, and we produced all the little videos that were transitions or content pieces about stuff going on around campus, whatever. So I was in that class all 4 years. Freshman year, when I realized that they had GarageBand, this is my first experience with even having recording equipment around, right?
Yep.
Bro, on GarageBand, I made so many beats. I became a producer, started learning how to record. Would be sneaking out of that class during the class to go record in the back or stand after school when it's all locked up or closed and everybody think it's locked up. I'm waiting on my brother to come get me from school, but I'm in that classroom in the dark recording hella music on GarageBand. Did my first mixtape in freshman year of high school.
Okay.
So like it really started then and just became like lifestyle. But I was definitely trying to rap like Lil Wayne. Like I ain't gonna act like I had my own style or anything. I was just trying to be Lil Wayne at the time.
He was one of the the pillars of that time, I'd say,
Right.
when it comes to rap. My other question was, so 16 to 18, college, you're going through trauma. Has the trauma like played a big part in your sound? Would you say from that age, or maybe like did your traumatic event losing your mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from the start. So actually that goes into what I was just saying with Lil Wayne shit.
Yeah.
When I first started rapping, I enjoyed it. I know I have a way with words, so I'm just doing it. But I'm rapping about stuff that don't really pertain to me for the most part. It's not real
just
stuff that
joke,
I'm in Broward. I know the current lifestyle that's in Broward for a young guy like me. I'm rapping about that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But when my mom passed, it didn't hit me, like really, really hit me till like a week later.
Okay.
The cry spell,
course,
really like lost myself in that moment, calling my aunties and stuff, like letting them know like, yo, I'm realizing what's actually happening. Like this shit feels like I don't like this. But then I wrote a song really as it was a journal entry. It was more of like I'm just journaling right now.
Yeah.
But I was writing it to a beat, and I think it was actually a Kanye. That's crazy. It was a Kanye beat. It's off of it was a song off of
Dropout?
off the second album.
808? No. Not the second album.
Couldn't even tell you.
It was
Couldn't even tell you.
yeah, I don't know why my mind's so blank on it right now. But yeah, it was College Dropout, then it was this one, and then it was Graduation, then the 808s.
Okay.
Yeah, Kanye's second album. Late registration.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what song it was. Oh no, say I'm real. No, this beat is off of 808s and Heartbreaks though.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
So this beat is off. It's 08, so that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, he got a song like "Say I'm Real" or something like that, and for like 6 minutes, bro, I'm just like rapping about, or really just rapping what I'm journaling.
Okay.
When that made me feel better, that's when everything switched. Like when I recognized, dang, like me saying these things out loud, not just writing it, but saying it out loud was helpful. Then I was very transparent too. So I was 16, but it was 3 days before my birthday. So I was actually about to turn 17 and go into my senior year of high school. MySpace was big at the time. On MySpace,
Yeah.
I changed my tag to, or like my screen thing to RP Mommy 08 and Forever was like the thing that I was always saying. And I put that song on there. And to hear people like that didn't go through it be able to understand me, and that gave people context on the person that they seen around school at that point. That's what I mean by like people actually getting a real understanding of who you are. Then they can put in context the things you say, the things you do. So like that was helpful, and that was just me being vulnerable. But it allowed people to get to know me. I ended up winning prom king. I didn't even I didn't nominate myself. Somebody nominated me. I didn't market it, but people had a personal relationship with me. I was to do that in lunch. I don't have the crew that I sit with. I had the crews that I visit. I fuck with everybody.
Okay.
I might come over here with y'all, play spades for a little bit. I might come over y'all, crack some jokes. Come over with y'all, rap for a little bit. Come over with the girls, talk about some dumb shit, hang out. But I kicked it with everybody. And it's the same person I am now. Like I can walk in any room and as long as you have energy, I'm gonna share mine. You know what I'm saying? Why not? There might be something that you can help me with. Like, there's something I can help you with, even if it's just encouragement. So like that was the shift for sure. This is summer of 08.
Oh wait, so that was fuel for Payne's artistry, right?
Yep.
That was the, let's say, rocket fuel.
Yep.
Boom. Payne from there is like a different Payne.
Clarity changes you.
Clarity, yep.
You feel me? When you actually have clarity on something,
I wanted to hear that. Yep.
you can move into it. And I will say, yeah, I started going really hard at that point, bro. Had like 3 staple performances my senior year that kind of changed things too. I actually might have some of these. At one point, they were on YouTube, like the variety show performance from my senior year. Me and my best friend performed. Me and my best friend performed at all of them together. But
let's pull it up. Is that something?
I don't think it's on YouTube anymore.
It's pre-YouTube, early YouTube days.
Yeah, but I mean, it was on there like as of like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
I did go through and it's stuff on my hard drive. I downloaded the ones I could find, but it was just like some real moments. I mean, the videos. This I probably would never vulnerability. I probably will show y'all. It wouldn't even be Payne. It was that's funny as hell. There would be no Payne at that time. It was Google like B Payne. That was my name, y'all. Like I said before, J. Cole. I was B Payne the rapper before J. Cole and before Chance the rapper. Hey. But nah, it would be on YouTube. B.Payne, and you can search like Gotcha ID or something like that. I can't believe I'm showing y'all this shit.
B-P-Y-N-E, right?
Payne.
Payne.
Yeah, the fit like the actual way. Yeah.
Okay.
It's before everything got tricky with the
What
V. On YouTube.
On YouTube. Let's pull that up. YouTube. Come on. YouTube
This is
ain't
hilarious.
YouTubing today. Oh, it's me.
Bro, I got an old channel. I ain't never gonna tell y'all. But yeah, okay.
I see you, B Payne.
That's in college
14
though.
years
That's
ago.
during college though. That's during college. Let me show you this high school shit. In the search bar after B Payne, put Gotcha ID. GOTYA ID.
GOTYA.
Actually, you know what? I got you. Put I got you. That's something else. This is high school shit. I think that's on YouTube. Let's see.
What?
Oh, there you go, right there, the top one.
Top one.
And you got the second. It's both of the ones I just asked. Is right.
Gotcha.
That's
right
crazy.
there. Which one?
That first. Okay, so this first one. What's crazy about this? This first one is. Actually, I think even got the documentary on here. This first song is my first documentary I was ever shooting. During that class, this is senior year, so at this point we veterans in this class. We get the whole first hour to just walk around outside and make videos we want to. So me and my best friend still my dog. Shout out to Steph. Shout out to Twine. This was a song that I did as the intro for that documentary. We only had one surviving episode though, because somebody taped over the tapes, bro. Somebody accidentally taped over the tapes in that class. So the only surviving one.
I'm about to hit the play button.
Oh, hit that. Yeah, this is just a song from that time. Oh, wait, this is not it. That's hilarious.
That's it?
You can stop that. That was that super aggressive, angry northern shit where I was freestyling. And I'm trying to find it might be under the documentary.
Let me see.
But the first thing I was actually trying to have you pull up is that second video. That's one of the videos that we did for the morning announcements.
Okay.
That's my best friend Twan all the way to the back. It's my boy CJ. Shout out to Pompano Beach High. No school on Fridays and shit. It was like got your money or get money from Lil Wayne and T-Pain. Shout out to Eric, that boy in Orlando right now too.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Songs that'll promote the rules of the school. You feel me?
Yeah.
Bro, this is what we got to do for 2-3 hours in high school every day.
Look at young Pvyne, bro.
With the little hair. Just acting a trip. And up here, right? You see the grill too? I had a grill at the time. It was crazy. No, that ain't cool.
Man.
But you see what I'm saying? So
He was having
what's
a good
crazy
time, bro.
is you could pause it.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like that was the early days of me realizing like I do have a commercial side to me. Like I could do things, like I can write jingles. I can. And I think at that time I had just heard about the Pusha T thing too. Like Pusha T wrote that jingle for McDonald's. Who knew that? Bye. I'm loving. That was Pusha T. He's still getting paid off that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I never knew.
And Justin Timberlake was the one
I'm
that.
loving it, joint.
And Justin Timberlake sang it.
Okay.
This is all under when they was all working with Pharrell.
Okay.
So like just to hear that, like at that time because I was making my music, like the song that you played before this, that stuff I'm making at home. Okay. But I can also do this at school where my teachers are like, oh, Brandon, you can rap.
More digestible version to like commercial side. Yeah.
I can do whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that was cool to be able to explore that at that time and in that age where I was actually like I was going home and recording every day. I was making music every day.
You still have that passion.
Exactly.
Ever since.
That's what it is. That's what you was talking about earlier. Cycle back to what you were saying earlier. What it takes to what you be doing and whatever else. I can't remember what you were saying exactly, but you were talking about doing what you like, and that's really what it's about. Is just find your passion. Yep. Whatever you're passionate about. It's never a day at work ever.
Exactly.
I just came from a situation I'm not going to talk too deeply about because I got a lawsuit pending or whatever else. So not to get crazy into it, but I worked for a company for 3 years. I put my heart and everything into that just because what I was doing, I was very passionate about it. I worked in the UAV industry. I came to Florida about 4 years ago looking to fly drones and just so happened to stumble into a job that was building commercial-sized drones. It was amazing. I loved it. They gave me the ability and opportunity to do some fantastic stuff there, things that I never thought that I was ever going to be able to do. So it was amazing to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a passion.
In the same line as your passion. Like
it was 100%. Like just anything dealing with like electrical engineering type of stuff, messing with circuit boards, assembling electronics, making things work from nothing. Yeah. My job in that company at the end of the day wasn't to build drones. That lasted very short, maybe 6 to 9 months. I ended up doing more of like the one-off jobs. So I would take like not custom sensors, but I would take like high-end sensors basically and make them work on our drones platform or whatever else. And to me it was something new almost every day, which was what I was excited about, and that I was just working around aerial vehicles, man. I love anything that flies, robotics, anything that I can control electronically. I love it.
Now, Pete.
So
it
was just passionate.
What's cool about it though is like, so this is why I do what I do when it comes to like working with the youth and stuff too. Cause like as a kid, anybody can observe a kid at 2, 3, 4, 5 years old when they're doing all this crazy stuff. They doing flips, they drawing, they singing, they dancing. These are all things that they could be passionate about. But most people's circumstances, and no blame to parents, like the society is not allowing this freedom to do these things. I mean, granted, it's changing right now. You're seeing a lot more of it now, but I know at the time when I was coming up, can a parent really invest in you to do all those things? Probably not. Nope. Can they pay for those instruments and pay for those karate lessons and pay? Nah, probably not. Yeah. But like, imagine parents having the ability, the capability to actually help their child explore all the things. That's the investment. You have brought this child into the earth, right? If you can make that child the best thing it can be, you've succeeded. And then that kid then changes other people's lives.
Yep.
It's like you have that stuff, and then by like middle school, you lose it. And you don't have it no more.
Why?
Lack of it's a muscle. It's
What
muscles.
are you saying you lose by middle school?
The passion for those things.
So I don't know if this would correlate, but there was a study done by NASA. I think it was in like the 70s that NASA wondered why there was less and less creative genius here in our country in the United States. They realized that like countries like Russia and China and everything, they were innovating from within, and there was an abundance of it. And here we were struggling, to find those people. They were hiding under rocks or something, they thought. And what it turned out to be that our school system, at the age of 5, the creative genius leaves the child exponentially year after year because of the whole school programming thing, like single file line and all the way, just the whole institutionalization that the school system has been over the past few decades has greatly played a huge part in that. So
we gonna expound
I would
on that.
assume that same effect or that same medium is causing the same effect in that regard.
I'll take it to the level of saying it was designed that way. Introducing the first segment that we have. Maybe it's not this name, but here's the fucking history, bruh. Here's the history. So we're gonna give y'all a quick history breakdown of how we got here with this education system and why that's straining on the creativity that's naturally born within inside of us, being the best creations on earth. We're literally a seed of sperm that turns into a full-grown, breathing human being that can change the world and go to space and shit. So you got to recognize that that's deep. That's deep. So this is how this education system was founded. Don't quote me on this, but late 19th century, so late 1800s, around the Industrial Revolution. All this innovation in education came from the innovation in technology at the time, right? Education system is just a factory for workers. Look up the history of it. I don't got the names. I just know I've studied it. You do your own research. You don't got to look at me like I know all the facts. I'm just telling you all the facts I've studied, so you can go do the same thing.
Are we not saying names for legal purposes?
Nah, we're not saying names because I don't even remember them all. It's a lot of history. But what I'm saying is I'm only, for the duration of this show that we producing naturally and moving forward, I'm just going to give y'all things to look up. Unless I know the exact citations, I'm just going to say the stuff so y'all can go do your research. I don't want you leaning on me. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your guru. I'm a human being that does my due diligence and studies the stuff that I'm interested in before I speak on it.
These are just our opinions.
Exactly. So what I'm going to say
Fully opinion.
is if you look up this education...
No allegations, nothing, just opinions.
This education system was started to make factory workers, was started to make the prime worker. That has persisted up until now, which at that time, it probably was a good need in that society. Maybe was. Not going to argue that. But if you don't update that education system as technology grows or as we get new resources, we are now behind. This is why kids in China are learning how to do their taxes at 7. That's why these kids are starting businesses and making robots at 10. We don't do that in America, even though we have the brights. We have it. We got tons of smart people. We got tons of people that think outside the box. But the system that they're educated in ain't teaching them that. It's not teaching them to look at the world that way. It's saying, no, look at the world this way because we're teaching you that.
Direct quote from John D. Rockefeller. I want a nation of workers, not thinkers.
Boom. Because the thinker changes the world. The thinker comes up with solutions. The thinker says, smarter, not harder. Why am I doing physical labor when my brain is smart?
You know what the thinker says? They look at Rockefeller as like, I can copy that.
Right here, just straight from Google to finish with the rest of that little. I just Google searched who said, "I want a nation of thinkers" because I knew that was the quote or whatever else. I wanted to find a name. Just to finish what it says here, because you were speaking about this earlier, the quote is commonly found in discussions alleging that the modern education system, which Rockefeller helped fund, through the General Education Board was designed to produce compliant factory workers rather than critical thinkers. However, it says, this is from Google, however, the exact source of context of this quote is unverified, and no published occurrence in his own writings or speeches has definitively been located. This quote is often attributed to him in films and social media, but historical researchers have yet to find primary source for this statement. So let's just say that, you know what I mean, to put that out there.
Yeah, it's
Like I said,
unverified.
this is just pure opinion, and we're pulling stuff
What's
from
the-
Google in moments.
State the
so.
date. When was that? When was that supposedly said? If it was
It doesn't actually give a date here because, like they said, it's not. They're saying that there's
Google
no
John
real.
D. Rockefeller prominence years.
It should have been like early 1900s.
yeah,
so
I'm
I would say like
1915 or
1903.
1920 or some shit like that, huh?
I think the date 1903 is commonly.
1891.
That's
Around
that's when he was
1860s,
prominent.
1890s.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
yeah. He built the Standard Oil Company.
19th
yeah,
and
man.
20th centuries. Yep.
Oil, trains, and steel
Yeah, it was him
built
and
this country.
Carnegie.
Oh yeah, the
I'm
men
more
who
of a
built this
Carnegie guy,
country.
man. Rockefeller was like oil. Just how do you like get this oil? He built the railroads, right?
I forgot who
Yeah.
built the railroad.
Who was it?
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller was an industrialist. He built.
He
yeah,
built, he did the oil company.
He was big on railroads, Westinghouse. He was like electrical and I can't remember.
What about Carnegie?
Carnegie was a steel guy.
Yeah, he was more. Of a
He was
steel guy
from
than supply.
Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh, so I know Carnegie well. He had Carnegie Steel. I forget, J&L Steel maybe is what it was called. But yeah, they're those industrialists from early America. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up right now as we're talking about it. The Men Who Built America, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
that. That's on
there's
History
a
Channel.
TV series called. It's on
Oh,
History
yeah,
Channel. The
Vanderbilt.
Men Who Built America, and it talks about all of those industrialists from the late 1800s to the early 1900s that built up what they say is our foundation. Like I said,
people don't recognize how, like, if our country was in debt, that means we owe somebody.
yeah. Who is it? Who do we owe?
Question. Okay, I was.
We getting crazy.
So I got a crazy uncle.
We getting a little crazy far now.
Shout out to my crazy uncle, finance. You know, he's a crazy finance guy. He told me something about American debt. So
Is this going to touch on 1933, 1912, 1913?
government bonds. We're talking
Titanic.
about bonds.
Yep.
The U.S. has never failed to pay any country that invested in government bonds. They never failed to pay them the interest that they earn on bonds. And when the bonds mature, the U.S. has to come up with that amount that whoever, China, Saudi Arabia, whatever country that owns like hundreds of millions, billions in bonds. However, a lot of these bonds are maturing and a lot of countries are like, you know what? We want our money back. So we're talking about financial instrument. When it comes to bonds, debt, most of the debt is foreign, which is crazy.
Right.
The richest country has the most debt. to
Why we owe
foreign
everybody?
country.
But ain't that what the rich people in shit? You brought up Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
How about Elon Musk is poor on paper?
Oh, but he
All
is.
his money is.
Guess what?
is
He doesn't own a house. Remember 2 years ago he sold all his.
That's what I'm
all his
saying.
house. He lives at his friends' houses.
But consider
He be crashing at his friends'
consider
cribs and
that's the
shit.
route that the richest individuals do. Imagine that they get that same understanding from the country itself. The country is in debt to everybody and owns nothing. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a system built on bullshit. It's a house of it's a house of cards.
House of Cards really.
Exactly
One
what it
good
is.
wind and this shit falls.
It's about to fall, bro. Like they're
That's all
saying
I'm-
right now, economists are saying right now that the only thing holding our economy together is AI and fucking literally toothpicks.
But
That's
but you know
literally
what's
what they
crazy?
said it was being held together with.
The
AI
fuck-
investments in AI and toothpicks is what's holding our economy together
messed
right
up
now.
thing,
It's a
though,
bubble.
The messed up thing is that's just the people that are invested into that system that will crumble with it. The vast majority of us are unaffected and can be, especially if we use each other.
Yeah.
That's
see
the
what
whole
they're
purpose
doing,
behind
though.
the stuff I'm
Herd-
talking about. We
herd
gotta
mentality.
operate.
You see what they're saying, what they're working towards, right? with the whole cryptocurrency, everything, like they want everything digitalized. Cryptocurrency played right into their hand. Like everything is, they're gonna tank our dollar. It's already tanked, really. They're gonna tank the dollar, and then transfer everything to crypto. It's
Bro, they
already
stop-
in the works.
Hey, they stopped making pennies.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
It's worth how much it costs to make is more than
it costs
the
more.
thing is worth.
It's like 3 cents to make 1 penny.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a system built on bullshit. You know what? You know what system? You know what system wasn't broken? Hey neighbor, you got some sugar?
Right?
I got some wheat.
That's what we
Yeah.
need.
Can I get some of that sugar and give you some of this wheat? That's a system that works because it ain't
Yeah.
based on a number. It's based on value. How much do I need it? Just like art is.
Yeah.
Ain't the biggest paintings you can walk in a room. Somebody might say it's worth 10K. Somebody might say it's worth 2 billion. That 2 billion person gonna get it,
It's the biggest.
and that's
scam
the
in
value
world.
that it now has because that's what somebody paid for it.
Yeah.
Art is still the foundation of this system.
That's
Earth is art.
art is art. Art never
Zoom
dies.
zoom into anything, you're gonna see a bunch of cool ass shapes.
Yep.
At the end of the day, all this shit built on
Anything,
art.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
geometry.
As an artist, today in 2025, November 9th of November, what do I do to keep my artistry alive? What do I have to do to
First,
build a following?
okay.
What is the first thing? I got talent. Everybody around me, close friends, are like, "Oh, you got something. You better put that in like pen and paper and start going to studios and everything and like sing, rap. Let's keep it
What's
in the
the first
recording
step?
art for now.
Yeah. What's the first step?
What's the first step?
That's
to
a lot
kinda-
of. That's a lot of people's problem.
Yeah,
They have an idea. They have a thought. They have a desire to do something. They just don't know how to get started. So what's the first step? What was the first step to getting here tonight? To starting this podcast. First episode 1, perfect. What was the first? What was the journey here? How did you get here?
Have an idea and act on it.
what?
Have an idea and act on it. That's always gonna be step 1, right? Because you'll learn on the journey, but you gotta like be committed to going on a journey first. You feel me? So like, when you say making that dream reality, you gotta decide what the dream even is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your goal?
Okay.
Why do you want to do it? Like I said, in my case, when I first started rapping, I just did it because I liked it. You know, which
Yeah.
is a good enough reason.
Yeah.
Even I just like to do this, so I'm doing it. But that won't carry you the distance to success. Whatever your success is, like I said, it's still your own success. But that won't carry the distance just because you like to do it. Because when responsibility comes knocking, you have to subvert that energy and that attention. What keeps you with that craft is knowing why you doing it. Like I said, that moment when I realized writing that journal entry and recording it and then putting it out to the world and the world actually hearing it and understanding me a little better, that made me happy in a sad time. And that same bit of happiness kept me doing it
So
for
it sound
20
like
years.
that was like a healing moment for you. That was a moment that you started to
Yeah.
be able to heal that wound of losing your mother.
The spark.
You gotta do what fulfills you. Most people are doing what they have to do to survive. But the real goal is to do the things that fulfill you. Now in this current paradigm, if you could do something that fulfill you, that also makes money, that would probably be the best look. Because now you're not working, you're just doing what you love, and you're able to take care of things, right? But that starts with having a goal and knowing that's what you want to do. Because all that other stuff figures itself out as you continue to move forward. But sometimes you just got to start to even start. You got to start walking for the fall to clear type shit. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I would say that's definitely the
Just
one of
start.
the first steps, bro.
Whatever it is, just start.
Start.
Even if you fail,
Exactly.
start again.
Dude,
Because there ain't no such thing as failure. You know what I mean? It's just more information.
so
Yeah. So acknowledging that you have talent and then knowing that, okay, I got to start taking this into higher levels. Go finding the right resources, the right places to hone my craft, right? Okay.
Right.
What's after that? So let's say, okay, I've established some kind of like routine, and I don't know if routine is the right word, but more like a weekly thing where An action
action
plan.
plan.
And I start working on my rhymes here. I hear a lot of advice from a lot of different professionals. Some of their advice will clash. Like, okay, but Payne said that. The other rapper said that. They're all successful rappers, successful recording artists. But I feel like I'm trying to follow one, but
That's intrinsic to the nature of the conversation, though. There is no
Okay.
one route.
so I got to create my own route.
You have to create. That's
Okay.
the big understanding. I have to create my own route to
Okay.
get to where I'm trying to go. Like when I started making music, I knew there was a possibility of deals coming and stuff like that. That's just like what you think about as a
Yeah.
young artist. Like record
Yeah.
deal is the goal, right? Then when I got presented one, that goal shifted because I didn't like what I
Okay.
said on it.
Yeah.
So it's like you can think that's the route, but you still have to walk forward for it to actually clear up. You have to try, do
Yeah.
cause and effect, or trial and error. You know what I'm saying? So like those experiences shaped me to where, like I said, I've defined my success as I'm a early 30s man that when I was growing up, making music at this age would be considered like you're a fall off. Why are you still making music? This is a young man's game. You should be
Yeah.
18. There's no reason you're doing this at. But now we got 50-year-olds dropping
Yep.
album of the year. So that shit really don't matter. So to me, my success was defined by my life is built around I have the freedom to create when I want to. Yeah, I got a job. Yeah, I got responsibilities. Yeah, I got rent and all the other stuff that every other person has. But my life isn't controlled by my responsibilities. My life is controlled by the things that I want to do. And I can actually put all effort towards that. And even my job is for that.
Okay.
I'm working a job that's paying someone else, the owner of that company, yes. But the paycheck that I get from that guy for the exchange of my hard work and goods and services that I bring, I get to invest that in the things I love.
Crazy you mentioned it.
If I didn't have something I loved, my money would be wasted.
True, but I know it's like it's either you work on your dreams or you work to help somebody else's, to help
Yeah.
somebody else attain their dream. You know,
I think
Yep.
that's how it is. Until
think
you
there's a
can start
correlation.
working,
Build somebody else's dream or build your own.
Build your own. Yep.
I think there's a correlation there in the sense of like that's how a community should work.
Mm.
You don't lose because someone else reached their dream. Because now they're in a better position to help the community too.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't even be competition in that. So yeah, it's not a or, it's and.
And not or and.
Yeah. I work on my dream
Interesting.
and I help you towards your
Man, you
dream.
spend some real game here.
Like
Let's
me pursuing what I'm doing even gives you inspiration to do that for yourself. Whatever yours is. Your dream might be to be the best shoelace tire in the world. Become the world champion shoelace
go.
tire.
Shoelace tire.
That's okay. Pursue that shit.
We're gonna start the shoelace World Cup here, right here. in
I
November.
gotta laugh at that because I'm gonna take it back to what you said about Lil Wayne and as your inspiration as an artist earlier. Oh man, when I was in prison, bro, I used to joke about becoming a professional joint roller because you have to roll your own cigarettes in prison, otherwise you're paying $30 million for a pack of cigarettes. Is there really?
Yeah.
I should probably enter. But
That's the thing.
bro.
That's an actual job. People
My
like Wiz
bro,
have paid
yeah.
assistants for that.
That's what I'm saying. When I heard that, I was like, maybe I could go and get Snoop or Wiz to hire me.
World Rolling Championship.
But see what's crazy about that is that when me throwing out that shoelace thing was a joke, but in all seriousness, it's like anything
could
you're
be
passionate
real.
about can become the
It's
thing,
real.
and you can be the best at it.
Yep. How about this? World Rolling Championship 2025, hosted by Raw.
2K cash.
And plus a ridiculous supply of raw.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
yo, that's out of pocket.
Crazy.
Where
see-
is this at? I need to get
You
involved.
see that shit? It's how it said instead of products,
Do
it
they,
said
do they
products.
supply the rolling medium?
Let's see.
We did host a we hosted a blunt rolling competition at one of the Hippie Canna Club events we did.
See, I'm a
rolling
joint roller.
competition.
I'm a joint roller. So the blunts, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'll roll something though. Oh my God. Is it artistry?
Look.
That's what they doing is artistry?
Work
Everything is art, bro.
Whoa.
Everything art. Everything is art. So look, everything is art. Everything that you do is art. You are art itself. Your parents coming together, no matter what your relationship is with your parents, no matter the role they played in your life, them coming together and creating you is a work of art, and it's the highest form of art we can do. But in your lifetime, from that being that was just a sperm and egg, right? You now can bring that art into actual reality and resistance, or in the reality for other people to then be supplied from and inspired from. That's power. Like, that's a superpower, and I don't think people like put that kind of stress on it the way that they should. Like, you having something that you are good at, that you love to do, that you can do with a smile on your face and show other people that they can do things with a smile on their face. That shit has ripple effects way beyond your own understanding, bro. Way beyond. So, like, pursue that shit. I just want to make sure everybody knows to be encouraged to do the thing they love, no matter what it is. Don't let nobody tell you can't.
And I'm gonna add to that, if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah.
One thing I find that people say, "Oh, there's already people that are doing that. There's too many people doing that already." Nah, bro, you get your little piece of the pie. You'll get your little piece of the pie. If you're a painter and there's a million paint companies in your city, how many painters you see in your little HOA right now?
Right.
Probably none.
None.
That could be you. You'll make your whole living on one HOA.
Shit. If we talking about hip hop, that's early '90s to a T.
Yeah, man.
It was already a bunch of rappers, yeah.
Yeah.
But every one of them came into it saying, "But this is what I can provide to the sound. This is the part that I can introduce. That's me to this whole thing." There's a beauty in eclectic, I don't know if this is a word, eclecticism.
Eclecticism.
We gonna make it up if it ain't a word.
Eclectic.
That shit's solidified now.
Yeah.
But that's the idea. Is like, yeah, everybody brings their own unique thing. If somebody's doing the thing you want to do, you doing it the way you do it is gonna be something different. Even if you use them as an inspiration.
Interesting.
Oh, they made little birds.
Even if
on
it's
the
just the
airplane.
way you do business. Even if it's just the way you do business, honestly. Like, sometimes I just want to make sure that this is clear, because you're speaking from an artist perspective, and not everybody is an artist. So I don't want other people that are, you know what I mean, somebody that's looking to start a trade, or somebody that's looking to start any type of startup business or whatever. I don't want them to be discouraged because they feel like, oh, well, yeah, in the artist space, that's only in the artist space. You're always going to find your niche. But no, that's for anybody. Like, yeah, the world is huge. There's billions of people out here. And just because you provide a similar service or the same exact service doesn't mean you're going to provide that service in the same way. You can provide that service in a way that's just a step above anybody else in the competition. And some people might value that sometimes versus, you know what I mean, the overall quality of the job. Or the price, let's say. Quality of the job probably isn't a good one to sacrifice, but let's say price. Some people might, pay a higher price just because you provide such a stellar service. You know what I mean? So all I'm trying to really get out there and say is that you can always get your piece of the pie, bro. Everybody has a piece of the pie. It don't have to be the whole pie. It don't have to be half the pie. Everybody has a slice here.
And
Everybody got a slice.
what truth being told, I would still argue that no matter what your craft is, it's still art, because you're still an artist. You're still an artist as a lawyer, still an
To a
artist
point.
as a doctor.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You're still an artist as a business owner, because everything's crafty.
You gotta craft.
So like that shit does apply to everybody. But what I'm trying to mostly speak to is the fact that you were an artist at birth. Don't lose that part. You like how you do anything you do in this life is the artistic approach. It's still art though.
Okay.
Whether your paintbrush is a fucking gavel or a fucking stethoscope, still art.
Even if you're an accountant, right?
Yeah.
You can
The
find
systems you
artist
create,
perspective.
the system, your workflow systems, you had to create that, right?
Yeah.
That's art.
Yeah.
It's all art, bro. So it's like people really got to tap into the fact that like, no matter what I'm doing, I can approach this as an artist. I think that's a cooler way to even look at the world. Like, I'm providing a new stroke to this canvas of history. That's cool. That's dope as shit. Whether it's remembered or not.
Yeah.
In the time period that you existed, You caused the shift with something you love to do.
Interesting.
That shit crazy.
One last question I got for you.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking outside the box or inside the box, does that resonate to you? Like, as an artist, do you always have to think outside the box? Or sometimes, like, why not look in the box and see what's there that I can make of? Do you always like, because I hear a lot of artists that they're not bringing anything new to the table. They just sound mediocre or just sound like the other person. They're inspired by that person, but how do they find themselves where they, wow, okay, I like what you're saying, to spark people's interest, to catch them. How do you, you as an artist, explain a little bit about? Have you always like thought out the box? Okay, let me sound a little different. Let me sound.
I think those are different perspectives. And
Okay.
I think all perspectives are important.
Okay.
Because the thoughts you have within the box are still beneficial.
Okay.
Like if you're outside of the box thinking, if you're already outside of the box, right?
Yeah.
And you shift your perspective to understand what's happening in the box, that's helpful. If you're in the box and you shift your perspective to understanding what's outside of the box, that's still helpful.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt. But I do
More
think
information.
you got to recognize what the box is that you even ever referring to. Is it the box of like work, life balance? Is it what box? Whatever box it is, there's purpose inside and outside of it. You just got to figure out what perspective you're looking from. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because it's just a vantage point. And then as an artist, what's cool about that is you can create from each of those perspectives. For example, I've written from the perspective of I went through something bad. This hurt me. This is what it feels like right now.
Mm.
But then I also shifted to I can write about the thing I went through, but from the perspective of hindsight and what I'm feeling today. The reason why that shift happened with me, this is like 2015, 2016 when I changed my name to Pvyne and made my mom's memory a big part of why I'm doing what I'm doing publicly. That shift came because it was like I don't want to perform those songs that I wrote when I was sad and reflecting on how sad I feel in that moment. Because guess what? I got to channel that energy today and I don't feel that way anymore.
Okay.
But if I write about that struggle that happened last year, but I'm writing it from a healed perspective, I might have journaled the whole time, but at least at this point where I can look back and have gratitude for that experience, even if it was horrible, I'd rather write from that perspective. Or at least I chose to write from that perspective for a good little minute. So it's, you see what I mean by like inside or outside of the box, you still have perspective. That's the beauty of the art of it all. Like I can have two perspectives on something. I can have multiple. I can have thousands of perspectives.
Yeah.
But which perspective serves me? Which perspective do I want to live in today? It could change tomorrow. You know what I mean? But that's the freedom that we have. The box is not. More so, I just want to encourage people to not see a box as the cage, because you can exist outside of it too. But inside of it ain't really a bad place. That's where you face yourself. That's a good thing. That's what I was saying earlier about you got to tap into your own independence, not to remain independent, but that's so you can actually be dependable to others. But you got to go in that box to hone that for yourself.
Yeah.
Then you step outside of the box and say, hey guys, I got some shit. I got some treats. Then you got to go back in the box sometimes. Then you got to come back out. Then you got to go back. It's a constant journey, but that shit is the fun of it all. You should never feel any way about either one of those. I wouldn't say. I would say you shouldn't feel any kind of way about it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's golden. That is golden. That's some golden advice, like you gave us today, and it gave the whole artist community and everybody else, not just artists, right? It's everybody else who's doing, everyday
human beings.
Things. Yeah.
Human beings worldwide that's all feeling the same shit. Like we getting choked by our leaders and have nothing else to have. We got no energy to actually give to our neighbors and our family and our friends. Like none of that. We don't have to exist in that paradigm, bro. It exists around us, but like for instance, if that's outside of the box, shit, us all hopping in that box together might be the best place to be.
Yeah.
You feel me at that point? Because I'd rather, like poor families or people that are anybody that struggles together. There be a group of friends in college that just don't got money they're gonna have an enjoyable time no matter what.
Yeah.
That struggling family, those kids don't remember the struggle. They remember having good times no matter what they had. That's where that shit comes. It's the experience is more important. How that the subjective view of that experience based on like society standards for things is a totally different conversation. But the experience itself is always valuable.
Wow. Yep. It's the experiences count. It's the experience that counts.
That's all that counts.
That's all.
Because it's more information.
Back to that rolling championship.
What
I
happened
just wanted
with
to
that?
share this real quick. World rolling. That was the post he told me to click on, right?
Alice in Chains.
That is crazy.
What? That's the
Rock-a-doodle-doo.
second place roll.
How do you smoke it?
You don't.
Do you?
What does smoke? Yeah. What's the first place winner though?
What even is it?
What the
No,
hell was
not
that?
the algorithm. It's just algorithm shit. Let me go
Yeah, I
back
don't
to-
get it. Like, what?
Okay, there's another video.
What the hell?
Are they paying it?
I guess
Is
they
that paint
have to be.
smokable?
Got the screen grab shit. Let me screen grab this real quick. Cut, and then we're back. Shit, sorry, quick time. So I did the first screen grab, and now this one. You know, screen recording. Just record everything, please. Yeah, record. Yeah, take it back to like the World Rolling Championship.
Yeah.
Check this out.
What the? Is this the first place winner?
Is he?
This might be.
That's the whole.
Whoa!
What the what?
What the hell? What the fuck?
How would you?
is
I
that?
don't know.
That's not rolling, bro. That's art. That's
That's art. That's the.
sculpting. Weed paper sculpting.
Let me see.
Weed paper mache or something. What the hell is this?
Yeah, that's what. That's the word I couldn't think of. It looks like paper mache.
Paper mache,
It
right?
does.
That's crazy. Like certain words and phrases, there was points in your life where that phrase was said a lot more than it is now. I remember in school, paper mache was like something that I would never have to think about. What is that word? You know,
Right.
I know that word, paper mache, paper mache. Now,
I know from art school.
yeah,
like,
just in general, like
Phases.
there's
Yeah.
just different eras of your life where words are more prominent.
Yeah.
Go through phases. And one
Exactly.
phase,
What-
something's more prominent, and you pass that phase on to the next one.
Oh, that dragon would look like it would smoke crazy if it was a
What?
blunt.
How would you?
What?
Okay.
Oh, is that a pipe?
Let me
No, it came off with a tip on the end of it.
look.
I think it was only you smoke. I think you only smoked the tip, bro. The tail. I don't think the whole thing was smokable. Look, that's where you smoke it from.
Huh. You just smoking
Interesting.
the
That's the
tail.
filter, right?
I guess. I don't
Smoke
know
this
what
dragon's tail.
Spot. Talk to what's it called? Arachnophobia or some shit.
Right? What the fuck is that shit?
Shout out to arachnophobia.
We out here. You know what I'm saying? We back we just took a little intermission for the podcast that does not have a name, but do it right, possibly. But we here, you know what I'm saying, back half of the taping. So we're just gonna jump right into it. We got my boy Brandon B Dub in the building, you know what I'm saying, another namesake. You feel me? Yo.
Yeah. So Payne invited me to come on just to ask a couple questions. Hopefully we'll bounce off each other's vibes and minds and find something inspirational to share with y'all. The first question on my mind, Payne, you've been at this for a minute, man. You've been on a journey, right? Like, what's one nugget you would want to give people who are like on a journey similar to you?
Don't let the curves in your road like deter you from going forward. Cause like that shit creates other like adventures. You feel me? Like you might get to that fork, and a lot of people actually will stop at the fork. Like I'm like out of fear a lot of times too. But you can ignore that, cause like why not go on the adventure? I think the adventure is more fun. So yeah, just deciding where you want to go and being okay with however you get there. As long as you maintain your integrity is the number one key. Integrity.
Speak more on that. How does integrity show up when you are navigating curves?
You might get offerings to get where you're trying to go quicker by way of letting go some of the things that you already stand on, some of your principles. And you don't always have to do that. Like the route might be longer, but maintaining who you are so that at the end of the road you actually still have maintained yourself. I think that's more important than getting there faster.
I feel like a lot of people, part of why they move fast is from a place of sometimes a false sense of urgency, but sometimes also a real sense of urgency. You know, some people gotta get to the bag in order to sustain the lifestyle they're trying to live. I imagine that's when integrity matters the most.
Let's just say selling drugs. It's an understood reason why people do it. But if you consider the harm that it's doing, it's probably not the best way to get to where you're trying to go. So like, yeah, it does cover the responsibility aspect of it, but I don't think it always has to. It's like readjusting what the reality that you think you should have is. Cause like people trying to get to like the life they're trying to live, that doesn't, like the life they're trying to live might not even be in tune with reality. We was talking earlier about like how people, like $1 million might be the real threshold. Like after that, to get more, you have to start like letting go pieces of yourself. Like that idea. So like, yeah, the lifestyle that people might be wanting to live in could be off base, but that's why we were also discussing having a clear sense of what success actually is to you, so that you know the limit that you're willing to take yourself, or the limit that you're willing to take opportunities, quote unquote, or you know, all money ain't good money. I guess that's the key of what I was trying to say there. Like, all money ain't good money, bro. And people like sacrifice themselves for the money, and at that point you can't even really enjoy it because you're not even yourself. You just got money now.
Yeah, and I think I want to lift up two words in what you said in that, right? Responsibility and success. I think a lot of us, we aim for success, we shoot for success, but we often underestimate or undervalue how much we have to be responsible for what that success is, what it took to get to that success, what impacts that success had. And I know for you, responsibility is huge because when you think about the journey you're on, it's not only for yourself, you're building a community. How are you balancing, like, do you feel responsible for that community, that collective success? How do you get other people to buy into it, you know?
Responsible for their success, but only to a it's that still has limits. And it's like the natural limit that I think people should have. Cause like someone's success really not, like that's the deal that a label is gonna give you. The label, when they sign you, they're saying we're gonna make you successful if you do these things. I don't want that responsibility for anybody's success, but I do want to make sure they have the tools to get to whatever level of success they're looking for. And if I have them, or if I know people, or if those people are in my network, there's no reason not to make that connection.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think the labels, to some extent, get into the divide between responsibility and accountability, right? And yeah, I mean, if the label signs that contract with you, responsibility actually falls into some weird places. Like, it isn't always clear who's responsible for your success. in that way. And I think from the artist standpoint, we want to always, like, I would want to say that, like, yo, that success is mine.
Right.
I put in that talent. I put in that work, right? I should then also be reaping the rewards that comes with that responsibility and that talent.
I mentioned earlier the label deal that came to me in high school, and it was that was the thought that I had to deal with. It's like up to that point, whatever success that was, to where at least I'm able to record whenever I want, you know, as long as I'm not at school, other than first period, because I was definitely recording music in first period. But outside of that, everything that I'd done up to that point for even a local label to hear of me, they wanted to own the stuff that I created in my room. That don't make sense to me. See what I'm saying? So it's like it's a trade to get pushed, but I don't want to give up the part that I actually own. Like, there is a bit of pride in the fact that I came up with these lyrics on the bus ride home from work or from school, and I also have the equipment at home, so as soon as I get home I can actually set it up and test this idea, and then finish that idea over however long it takes, and then put it out myself and people enjoy and consume it. And then I get that fulfillment of the listener actually understanding me better. Just as we was talking about earlier, it's like that's a full cycle of things that happen all within my own room for the most part. So for somebody to have ownership over that, it'll never make sense to me. There's no reason somebody should have ownership of it. Have ownership over the marketing aspect, that's something that makes sense. But over the creation of it, that's the whole idea of giving up your masters. Can't have somebody owning the thing that I put together myself. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think you identify as a independent artist, right? So is that what it means to be independent to you?
Absolutely. All aspects of your creativity can start at your brain and then take shape. Like that little bit of the flow right there is independence. The fact that I can come up with something and then I can execute it without any red tape, without having to jump through any hoops, without having to wait for a budget from someone else and all these other things. Like, I can proactively make it happen myself. And using my own resources. It don't mean I did it alone, but I had autonomy over the route that I'm taking. You feel me?
Yeah, no, I think whenever we talk about your narrative, I think there's always an important aspect of community that you bring up into it. So, like, as you think about the path of the independent artist, right? Why is community so important?
I have a strong belief that neither can you do it alone, nor should it be alone. I think that's like the core of humanity that our current state is like the opposite of. Point being, at the end of the day, we need people. Like, of the essentials that I listed earlier, that 80 to 95% of people on earth need: food, shelter, community. Well, I would say 100% of people need that, right? If those are the basics, what makes anyone think they can make anything really happen by themselves? Not only is it a better and more group perspective if you have other people in that community, in that circle of thought, but I do also believe we're all connected. I would say we are all the same being from different perspectives, different lifestyles, different different experiences that shape them, but we're all the same thing at core. So when it comes to like community and art or trying to build anything for yourself, the community art, that's your tools, and vice versa. I'm a tool to my community as well. Like, use me as a hammer if you need me, or I could be the nail if you need me, or I could be the person holding the hammer. But we can all play those roles at different times. And I think that's a much smoother process when there's more people. Two or more gathered is important to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, I focus a lot of my work on groups and groups coming together to achieve shared goals. Um, what's a shared goal that you have for the community that is behind you?
To be self-sustained,
Mm,
a community that doesn't necessarily need to go outside of itself for its needs is a thriving community.
yes, it is.
And if you do need to go outside of the community, you can at least approach it as partnerships. Like maybe our community specializes in planting and fields and crops and animals, or no, just fields and crops, but another community specializes in pigs and cows and chickens and stuff. Now we can have meat and vegetables when we eat. You see what I'm saying? Like it's that simple. And everybody can kind of stick to the thing that they care about the most, or the thing they're the best at.
Mm,
Like that's really the ultimate goal. If everybody in the community, in shared communities that interact with each other, if everybody does the thing they do the best and do that the most, everybody's pretty much in the best position to just reap benefits off of each other. And there's no like, I'm not losing anything from someone depending on me, as long as I can depend on them too.
yeah, no, I think a lot of our culture focuses on this idea of being so self-reliant, and I mean, I think in our lexicon and how we think about it, like we were never meant to be so self-reliant. We're always supposed to be dependent and to rely on one another to fill the gaps that we don't have, to watch our back. You know, we face in the front. I need someone on my six. I need someone at the 3 and 9 too, ideally, if I can.
Right.
So yeah, as you're building, man, like, what are some of the what are some of those assets? What are some of those tools that you're finding that you need around you? What would you even recommend for any independent artists? Who like what should they have around them in order to go on that journey? Like what they should have in that community?
Um, I would say one of the most important ones is support. Um, and support comes in different ways, but having that that gratification of people expressing to you that what you do is helping them, that's gonna make you go hard at all times. And then from there, it's like the key parts of the production process, if you want to call it that. And that's for any field. So as a music artist, it helps to have some engineers around. It helps to have producers around. It helps to have videographers, graphic designers. Shit, that even goes to like hairstylists and makeup artists, and like all those things work together to create any pieces of art that people consume.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the production process is where I think most people's head was at, but like the nugget that I really wanted to pull out a bit more from you is that support piece, right? To think of support as a skill, as a thing that we have to learn, grow, build on how to do it, how to show it, even how to receive it, right? Um, I'd love for you to speak more on that, right? Like, how do you see support as a not just a action, but a skill that people develop?
It's like recognizing that the little things have big effect. Um, let's say on average, most people individually know 200 solid people. That's including family. That's including like friend groups from school and work and stuff like that. Maybe religious stuff, churches and things like that. Or people that you see in transit to where you're going on a daily basis, stuff like that, right? If all, or let's say even half of those people, if 100 of those people that you know that are actual pieces of your life that you interact with support you, that's 100 likes on a post on that simple side. But that's 100 people buying the shirt you drop as merch. As 100 people listening to your project that will tell more people, especially if they like it. That's 100 people that'll sign into your live when you start a live. 100 people is a lot of people. Like looking at these different streaming numbers and the amount of views and stuff that already famous people get can be like a stifling thing to see. But that'll make you discount the fact that 100 people is still a lot of people. So 100 solid people supporting you in the littlest way. Like I said, I named a bunch of things that are, I mean, the buying things is where you start going up, but the little thing of just giving you one view on a post you drop, or leaving one comment, or liking it, that's helpful, especially for an algorithm. If you're trying to build, like, I'd rather build from a small few and let those few be the speaking pieces that gets it further than me try to conquer the millions just straight from my voice, because that's how shit gets misconstrued. But if that 100 takes my message to 1,000, and then that 1,000 takes it to 1,000,000, that you can question the whole telephone game thing in that aspect. But I do think that's a way more powerful way than me directly trying to speak to 1,000,000.
One of the things you mentioned is that as a independent, you get to now walk into some of these negotiations outside your community, looking for partnerships, right? Looking to partner with people, better negotiations. How have your partnerships gone? Like, what has your experience been like finding partners to do business with?
I say it's easy to find partners, but it's hard to it's hard to focus two different visions a lot of times. I do think it's a necessary thing to do, but that doesn't take away the fact that it's difficult. Because everybody got their own, like, lanes. Everybody has their own thing they're trying to push for. But I think sometimes it's just difficult to decide what the next steps are when there's two different focuses on how to get to that end goal.
Dropped off talking about partners and how everyone has their different visions and need to be able to actually have the willpower to, like, find what I would call alignment across those visions, right? How do you encourage other independent artists still trying to figure it out? How do they go about finding that alignment with the potential partners?
See, that's the hard work, because they got to find alignment in themselves first.
Ooh.
Because otherwise, you end up in partnerships that aren't actually fruitful to you, because you're chasing some shit that don't even align with you. So, like, you got to find alignment in yourself and know, like, what you're trying to do. You might not see the full vision, and that's okay. But there's steps that you take to get to the ultimate goal. So you got to at least be in alignment. Like, you might want $1 million within the next 5 years, but if your lifestyle ain't in alignment with accruing that, you're not ever gonna make it. So it's like you got to align yourself first. Then you got to find people that are in alignment with themselves. That's the part. It's the same thing with, like, a relationship with a partner. When I'm saying, like, relationship partner, like it's the same exact thing. Like, we're two different people, but there's something that brought us together. And how can we make our two visions, our two lifestyles, our two everything work together and cohabitate to where we can actually build something that's fruitful for both of us? A lot of partnerships tend to be one-sided. If you don't know what you actually want. And I've went through that myself. I've been the person not fully understanding what I want, so I just kind of took whatever. Partnered with different organizations, different people, different things that I gave my time to that I thought was in alignment, but my view on what my goal wasn't correct. So I'll take that clout, but was that really fruitful to my long haul, or was that just for that moment that it made sense and helped me?
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of leaders out there that they have goals, aspirations, but not necessarily direction on where they wanted to take it. And for me, it always comes back to the values, right? Like, how are your values shaping your priorities, and how's it shaping how you're going for your priorities?
That's a good point.
So as you've been moving through, how have you been seeing your values shift, right? I know one that you brought up was integrity, but are there other values that you feel like has been guiding your journey?
The importance of community is definitely a big value. Because I have that view, I don't let those hardships of building community stop me from doing it. It's that necessary. And, like, if you're not willing to go through those pitfalls that it takes to get there, like you can't give up on it, but where is that gonna leave you? You still need the community, right? So community is a huge principle, value that I care about. Integrity. Um, I would say um, diving into your purpose. So purpose is probably a big one too. Like the idea of, I guess that's what I mean by what you got to be in alignment with yourself. Like finding your purpose is not a monetary thing. That has nothing to do with any of the societal standards. That's just what fulfills you. Once you discover that, you can move through the world and do anything and keep that purpose in it, and it'll actually benefit everyone because you're actually in alignment with yourself first. Um, so purpose is another one. Um, for lack of a better word, human beingness. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge key value that I have. Just a sense that I'm no different than anybody. I might have found some success in the stuff that I like, and people might even look up to me for that. But that doesn't take away the fact that somebody else could do it too, and I can appreciate them doing it as well. Everybody just needs the right keys, right advice, that kind of stuff. But how all of those things shape how I move, that's the stuff that I take into any conversation I have with someone. Like I'm thinking about how I can bring value to them more often than I'm thinking about how they can bring value to me. And that's helpful because if you focus on the things that you do well, it's going to bring you blessings. You don't even got to be able to quantify it, but it's going to return itself to you. So I put that out more than anything. So that's always helped me. Like I've never been rich. I've never been up a bunch of money, nothing like that. But I can honestly say I've enjoyed my life. I've enjoyed being able to do the things that I love. I've enjoyed being able to entertain as well as inspire and teach through the things that I love. I love the look on kids' faces when it clicks to them that ball is life don't mean NBA or nothing. It can mean I'm a coach and I still get to do what I love. So that fulfills me in a lot of different ways. So it's complete. My principles and values. I mean, it's the same thing with a business though, and that's why I look at artists' independence as like you got to recognize that you are a business in this current paradigm. You are a business. You're not just a artist. You're not just a starving artist. What they say. You're a business moving, and any business has principles, has those things aligned in their establishment. This is before they even start putting out products and all this other stuff. That's the first things they're talking about because that shapes how you brand yourself. That shapes the reputation that you receive. All those things matter. Oh, if we want to throw a fifth one in there, accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Say more on that. What does it mean when you bring up accountability?
Especially in the conversation of like trauma and mental health and things like this, a lot of people land on I'm this way because someone did something to me or someone hurt me or something outside of me is the cause to this effect. And that can very much be true. So I'm not taking that off the table, but no matter what, you still played a part in it somehow. Like even if you were just in the wrong room for somebody to do something to you, you got to take accountability for that, or else you're going to end up in a room like that again for somebody else to do something wrong to you. So it's like accountability has to be like at the front of people's mind because like you could take accountability in a situation that you're obviously not the wrong in. It still benefits you to do that because it's only shaping how you move in the next time that you're faced with that obstacle. So like accountability, even just in the terms of like it's a way, it's a knowledge base. It's information. The more I can reflect on the things that have happened to me, the things I've experienced, the right and wrong of it, the good and bad of it, I can then motion myself to try something different because I've actually reviewed my own actions in a situation.
Yeah, and even taking it back to what we were talking about earlier with responsibility and success, you need to be accountable for learning along the way. And I think for you, what I'm hearing as well is part of that accountability is giving back and spreading. If not just learning and growing yourself, just for the sake of growing yourself, but for growing your community and also growing the next generation.
I take accountability for my community. You see, that's like key. Because we were talking earlier about like being 30 plus and being in the music game 20 years ago, you looked at like you fell off while you were around. But like at the height of my career in my mid 20s, that was actually when I started my step behind the scenes to start building with other people. When, even looking back, I've had moments of regret where I'm like, dang, like I should have waited for that. I should have got more established before I started trying to help other people. And anybody could say anything could have been different, right? But while taking accountability for the decisions I made, I can also find the beauty in it because I didn't have to reach a certain height to be able to give game. Any knowledge I have can be spread. And I can also learn by giving the knowledge I have. And if somebody has even pushback on it, what they say back to me is still helpful. So it even shaped that. Like, and I say that specifically because like 24, 25, most big artists, that's when you know of them. That's the age group that you remember them from. Tupac died at 25. So the memorialized image of Tupac is a 25-year-old kid. When if he was alive right now, this man would be 56 years old and will have a mature look on him. He might have some gray hairs. Gray hairs might be cool now. You know what I'm saying? People won't be dyeing their beards and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So just that age group is such an important age group. And I would say I did something a lot of people, I couldn't imagine a lot of people doing it. And I know a lot of my peers didn't. They definitely didn't use the platform that they had built for themselves up to that point to be a platform for others. Like I completely put myself behind the scenes to push other people forward at that time because I know it can't just be on my shoulders. It shouldn't be, because that would make me a martyr. That would make me the pastor. That would make me the guru. I don't want to be none of that. I'm one of a million plus army. That's all.
Yeah, man, that army is doing good stuff. Before we sign off, if people wanted to enlist in your army, if they want to join the army with you, right? What should they do? How should they connect with you? How should they connect with your people?
Yo, do that real simple thing that you did in kindergarten when somebody pulled up as a kid you don't know and they had a cool ass backpack or a lunchbox. And you said, hey, that lunchbox cool. And y'all became friends from that one thing. Same exact shit, bro. Be a fucking human. Talk to people that interest you. Explore something outside of your norm. Find comfort in discomfort. You know what I'm saying? Like, make that easy. So yeah, just really communicate, bro. Like, that's Instagram. That's face to face. I'm very accessible. Not everybody can get my full time, but you'll at least get a chance to show me if you're worth more time. And most people tend to. You know what I mean? Because everybody got things they want to do. And oftentimes they need people that can express that to even try to go further in it. If the first person you express, hey, I want to be a chef to says, bro, you can't cook, that could destroy your whole dream. But if you talk to somebody and say, hey, man, I don't know how much cooking experience you got, but I'll try something. Don't that open up the whole opportunity to like, oh, shit, somebody actually wants to try my crumpets? Shit, I'm going to go try to make some crumpets. I'm going to bring them some tomorrow. See what happens. That's how that shit goes. For instance, I think Eric actually witnessed this. What was this, 2 nights ago? It's a couple at this kava spot we hang out at called I'm talking to the community. It's this spot that we hang out at in Winter Springs called Lake Kava, right? It's just a lot of, I've made a lot of friends there. And there's this couple that comes there. Cutest little couple, Hispanic. They ride a motorcycle together. They come to the spot. They say hello to everybody. Then they'll just set up a table outside and just start painting. They bring all the materials. They bring all the canvases. And they'll let you sit down and paint with them if you want to. They actually invite you to do it. I saw them doing this. I was playing pool, so I couldn't participate. They kept asking me, though. So shout out to them for that, trying to involve me in that. But I came back out to get someone that was playing pool that was also painting. And I'm looking at these pieces. I'm like, yo, these are dope. Person like me, I collect art. I got a whole wall full of paintings from local people or people that I know or people that I just happen to see on Instagram and wanted to support them. So my first thought was, yo, I'll buy these pieces from y'all. Y'all selling them? And just the way that they responded to that, you could see that they saw the value in them taking that time to create. It was something they just did for like pastime. But for someone else to look at that and be like, I value that. Can I give you a value for it? You gonna probably like after I did that, when I say I could see the light in them, they've always been bright people. But like they're coming up to me saying, hey, should we start an event like this? You think people would want to participate? Like they're asking for advice on how to do more of that thing because one person was excited about it. That's this shit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the key to the shit. So like that's what I want to keep doing that, bro. I don't even remember if you asked the question, or what question you asked, but like that is a big key, bro. And I just love seeing that excitement on people's face when they feel validated in the thing they care about.
Nah, man, I think that story encapsulated a lot, right? Like, in like the story of those folks, that couple took their moment to like show their strength, put their skill or passion out to the community, build community through it, and then for you to turn around and affirm it or validate it with there is value here that others in the community may enjoy, and now they're thinking about expanding it and growing it. I think that's what we're hoping for everybody. Put out your thing. Put your thing out there. We are going to value it. Someone's going to value it. And you can then build from there. And if we all build and the community just reaps all the benefits to more.
Hey, man. Okay, so if anybody's seen Friday After Next, right? Anybody seen Friday After Next in the room? So, okay. So, and
Is this like a black test?
Yo, no, it's a funny line in this that's always stuck with me. And it always stay, and it's crazy. So remember, they had a landlord, the landlady, whose son was Terry Crews that was fresh out of jail, and they were Craig and Day was cracking on this lady when she walked out of the house or something. They said something about the mustache she had. Older lady had a little mustache, right? Yeah, it happens. Some people got hairy upper lips and shit, right? So they cracking on her mustache, and she says in jest, you hear it in the background. I don't even think they showed her face when that, but you hear it. She says, somebody like it. That's the view you should have about anything you do. Somebody gonna like that shit, bro. So here she is, this woman with a mustache, and I can't name too many men that I know that would like a woman with a mustache. But guess what? Somebody would fuck that. Somebody would. Somebody would.
Can't be me.
But that's the thing. Even if it ain't from the person that gives that product, in this case, the product of a woman with a mustache, somebody, you can still be valued, even if it's not the masses. And I think everybody's shooting for the masses when that's not the goal. Start with your community. Start with your neighbor. Start with the people that you see on a daily basis before you're trying to make sure the whole world knows who you are and cares about you. Because guess what? They don't have context. They don't know how you breathe. They don't know your talking patterns. They don't know what you think about. They just see you as a thing on the internet, which is all the other shit they consume. So you got to like build up your personability, but that starts in real life. That's not social media. That's real life. Same shit Tupac used to be talking about. You got to engage with people before they should be hailing you up as like the hottest rapper in the city or whatever it is. I don't care about that. That's why I say everybody's the same. We on the same eye level, bro. You could have more success than me, more money in your own right, and I can only respect it. But I'm in no way going to think I'm beneath you because of it. There's no reason to, because I can do it too. And so can he, and so can she, and so can everybody else. How are you going to help us do it too? You see what I'm saying? That's more valuable than just acknowledging the success anybody has. How can you help everyone else get there too? You should have more information because you made it further, right?
Yeah,
Drop
man.
some of that off. Let us get some of that.
Yeah, man. I feel like nobody out here pocket watching if you actually out here
Ain't no
providing
pocket
that value. Ain't no pocket watching out here, my G.
Not at all. It ain't worth it.
Nah.
I am people watching though. I'll tell you that much.
Constantly. Yo,
I'm
be
soul
observant of your
watching.
community, man.
Straight up. I'm trying to see your third eye, what it's hitting for. Trying to see what you think about human beings. And if we align, ain't no reason we can't work together. Straight up.
Word. Well, yo, I appreciate you answering the question, Payne.
I appreciate you asking them. Yeah, so you know what I mean? So impromptu first official episode of the Blank podcast. Do it right. I think it sounds good saying the Do It Right podcast, bro. I like that.
Do it right.
Like y'all are
I like it.
y'all are part of this process. You feel me? So y'all can also I guess vote or something. I can also ignore your votes, but I'm also down to hear what y'all think. So Do It Right podcast sounds kind of dope. Because the whole goal of everything is to make sure that whatever you doing, big or small, do that shit right or not at all. Because is it really worth it if you had to do the wrong things to get there? Would you really be proud of yourself at the end of it if you had to step on other people to get to where you're trying to go? I don't think you really found fulfillment in that. So, let's avoid those pitfalls and we could do it together. I'm on my journey, and I like everybody else that's on a journey or even at the start of a journey or even thinking about starting a journey. Just know you are encouraged, know you're supported, know that you got people that'll stand behind you, stand next to you, or pull you forward if we need be. But there's no reason to stop. Just do it. Really just do that shit. But do it right. Do it with integrity. Do it with purpose. And be intentional. So yeah, first episode down. It's probably gonna get clipped up and all that. But yeah, I just want y'all to interact. This is the first of many. As I said, my name is Pvyne, leader of the We the Future movement, leader of the Hidden Hippies, founder of Hippie Hideout, open mic kickback every month. And we at Neon Camel Recording Studios right here in the city, beautiful Orlando, in the best state in the country, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, we out of here.
Any job, big or small, do it right or not at all. I'm a boss, you a call. I just sit and make decisions, you are not involved. I've been sitting back watching and I'm so appalled.